Alright guys, so the intake manifold is off, as you can see. Now if you see there, I plugged all of the engine intake with paper towel, and this is just something I like to do to give me some kind of peace of mind. I actually recommend doing this if you're removing your manifold and working on anything here, just as a safety precaution. Make sure you don't drop any dirt or even worse, any small piece of tool or screw, something doesn't drop in there, and then your day will turn out to be not such a good day. So yeah, so the intake manifold is off, as you can see. Now the next thing you want to do is, and for this part I usually use like a long flathead screwdriver to remove the oil supply rail line. Usually I just use the flathead, just push up here, and that'll decompress that fitting there, and then it's easy for you to just pull it up. Now if by any case you see one of these little tops come off, don't panic, because those things are actually meant to be that way. They can come off and you can just pop it back on in there with no problem. But keep in mind, whenever you're working on these, remember this is plastic. All these little fittings are plastic, so you don't want to be too reckless and end up breaking one of them, and then you have another problem in your hands. So yes, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the injector rail supply, injector rail fuel supply, which are these. And for these I use a 17mm ratchet right here, and then once you loosen them up, they should be pretty easy to remove by hand. Again, on this side, for example, again, you want to be a little extra careful, because remember, you have your injectors, and then your injectors, you're gonna have, you're going to have this little feeding part here that's attached to the ejector. You want to be careful when you're losing up this fuel supply rail right here, because you don't want to slip and end up hitting this, and then you end up breaking that. That's plastic. Again, that's still has a plastic housing, and you don't want to break that, because once you break that, then you have a damaged fuel injector, which you won't be able to use anymore. And these are pretty expensive. And yeah, you want to be careful so you don't end up breaking anything in the process and having to spend a lot more money. Unfortunately, for example, BMW, when it comes to BMW, a lot of the time you gotta be extra careful removing stuff, because they make things so complex that trying to fix one thing, you might end up making a mistake and breaking another, and having to spend a lot more money. So yeah, in a little bit I'm gonna show you guys the way I use the tool that I came up with to remove the fuel injector, and then you guys can see how well it works. For such a little bit of money spent creating it, it's well worth the bill. So yeah, I'll show you guys in a little bit.